what is it like being on the bike? Because right
Yeah.
now it's not something that most people would have experienced.
Yeah. So the River is one of the largest scooters in India, period.
Yeah.
Including everything, Aerox, incoming Zoom 160, everything. I'm not going to go into the 10 lakh rupee BMW scooters because to me they're irrelevant, right? So it's one of the largest scooters you can buy. And most of the space is being used very cleverly for your benefit. So this enormously long seat is so that you can have 43 liters of storage under the seat. It's one of the few scooters and probably the first scooter where an international grade full face helmet just fits in neatly. You don't have to jiggle it in and fiddle in. It just fits. Very, very few scooters do it. It does that to the point where you have a fairly substantial charger, 800 watts, I think. They're saying they're working on making it significantly smaller because I think TVS has a 950 watt charger, which is about half the size. They're saying, yeah, we are moving in a similar direction. But despite the charger being there, it's one of the few scooters where my 24-liter tailback goes all the way inside and settles down completely. Not the helmet and the tailback, just the tailback. So on a Indy, I will usually not have a tailback on the seat, but on a lot of electrics, I do because it just doesn't go into the underseat. It's either too wide, too long, or too tall. Indy, no stress. When I finish doing all of this nonsense, there's still 12 liters of storage space ahead, and that does not interfere with your knees, and I'm 6 foot tall.
Right.
So the rider's seat is slightly sloped. I wish it wasn't. It's a little bit annoying. I wish it wasn't, but it is narrow at the front, it's wide at the back, and there's a whole bunch of places that you could sit at depending on your height. There's no lack of space on the floorboard. There's no lack of space in the seat. And if I sit all the way back in the seat, remember I'm 6 foot tall, I feel like I'm leaning forward to reach to the bars. They're that far away from me. So I'm usually middle or just ahead of the middle on the seat is the kind of space that the Indy has. So when you put a pillion, you might need to send them a letter to communicate with them because they can't feel like they're sitting that far behind you.
So it's big and spacious.
It's massively spacious under the seat, on the floorboard, the way you sit and the way you sit two up, all of it. If you're a short rider and beginning to start worrying, if you sit at the front of the seat, it's a completely natural riding position for you too. This is not the lowest of scooter seats, but I don't think it is untenably high. But it is a big format scooter. The square things on the side are pannier mounts. They've not deployed them yet, I think, but River intends to sell you panniers that you can add to the scooter for more storage. The grab rail is fully metal, and it is fully metal so that you can mount their factory top box onto it and add more storage. Top boxes is not my thing. I would not do it, but for what it's worth, it's there. They're also a cautious company. The USB port is a 10 amp USB port. So it's a fast charging USB port. The two screws you'll see between the handlebar clip-ons, that's actually a mobile mount, and you can buy a mobile mount and mount a mobile. They've designed it for it. I'm not sure about vibration damping for high-end phones with optical image stabilization. I'm not sure, but it's there. Weak points, the head...
One sec. You've spoken about the jig thingy at the back, but the two pipes on the side, those are...
That's a crash bar.
That's just a crash.
And it's built in.
Okay.
So if you crash, those pipes will take most of the damage, not the plastics.
So more plumbing is not required.
More plumbing is not required.
Okay. Awesome.
That's the minimum you need. That's what they've got. I also use it as a footrest sometimes. So if I have the rider's foot peg open and I have size 44/size 10 shoes.
So you can do that.
Yeah, I rest my toes on the crash bar's bottom.
Okay.
Almost to the point where if this was my Indy, I'd go to Zubin and said, can we cover it in some sort of tape so that I'm not scraping the paint? Because one of my shoes has a steel toe and I wouldn't want to scrape up the paint because of it. So I'd want to cover it up, but you can. It's a very comfortable riding position once my toes are up. I find it a little awkward if I'm just using the foot pegs, but if I were fully loaded for the duration, would I be able to use it? Yeah, absolutely you would.
Hi, it's me, Karthik, the one who's generally laughing and just going along with Shumi's jokes. You can catch all the jokes on the main channel. That's where they're all there. Right now, this is a bit of the serious conversation, but you can catch all the fun factor on the full video, which is on the MotorInc channel. So head out there and subscribe. And if you want more of these shorter clips, do subscribe to this channel as well.